Today's session, as you're aware, we've started with a breakout session for a change to give everybody a chance to get here and get a cup of coffee and get settled down. In a few minutes I'll run through what you can see on the poster boards if you've not already studied them in detail. We have a Poison Centre presentation from Caroline and Rich from NCEC, and then one of the two presentations done by Kroner for us. The first one on health and safety and hazardous substances before lunch, and then after lunch a second one on employment and health and safety legislation. During the lunch and the coffee sessions at the end, Kroner are putting people up on their help desk. So if any of you have got questions that you want to raise with them, get their advice, they'll be available. Should there be people be inundated with, or should there be a rush of people to avail themselves of that service, if you have any particular burning issues that you'd like to raise, see Helen or Denise at the back there, and they will make a note and make sure that you get an answer to your query. And also, if any of you would like a tour of the Kroner facilities here, please see Helen and Denise. Right, we have the usual sort of housekeeping thing. You've spotted where the fire exits are, I assume. There is no planned fire drill today, so if you see me running, try and keep up. And I remind you of the BARSA Code of Conduct, that we're not going to discuss anything of a commercial nature, and you've already agreed to that by signing the form as you came in. Right, quick overview of what's on the boards. I'll first of all summarise the current hot topics, but then bring to your attention the new EMF regulations, which I only learnt about last week. Well, first of all, I'm obviously doing that. Okay, so the EMF regulations have just come into force, haven't they? We need to take reasonable steps to prevent harm in the workplace and risks from exposure to electromagnetic fields. So this is all your little bits of electrical equipment. And those at risk are employees who are pregnant or have implants or worn devices. I'll let you read these as I'm going. So these are the type of issues and devices, and this is what you have to do. Now, if anybody wants copies of these slides, we can make them available, but they are available on the Health and Safety website, Health and Safety Executive website. Not these slides, but the basis of what you have to do and the guidance.
The slides will all be available.
Yeah, thank you. So these are the possible sources. So your Wi-Fi and all that sort of thing. I mean, I'm sure for most of us that these type of things are fairly low risk, but it's one of those things that you have to be aware of these regulations and make sure you've done the assessment. Okay, moving on to what you can see out there. On the environment poster board, you'll see things about the sustainability agenda, circular economy becoming quite a busy and prominent topic. And the working group are going to prepare a statement for BARSA members to use. You'll also see some information about a new proposal for VOC classes as part of the CPR, and also the latest situation with the waste packaging, or is it packaging waste, whichever way you put it, code of practice, WM3, may be soon to become WM4. On the building adhesives display, Neil's here, you'll see the latest on the TC303 and 13813 update. Also the latest thing on development of grout standards, flooring adhesives, wood adhesives, and also Neil's got examples of the model EPDs that have been produced through Faker, which was it Sharon that printed them out? Yeah, I thought it might have been. Sorry. If you want to have a look at those, they're available to use. The difference between a model EPD and a generic is that the models are the worst case scenario. So you can use these if your product, your formulation fits into this worst case formulation. On the sealants, there's an update of the standards. We're also planning to produce a new BARSA guide to the history of the development of standards, because we find, particularly in the sealant area, that people are still referring to what are now obsolete standards, British standards. So we thought we'd produce a simple guide that says, you know, if this is the standard you were using, this is the new one. So any information you can provide towards that would be very helpful. But then these are all the other things that you'll see an update on the development of the fire standards, and also some of the discussion on the circular economy. Do we use foils or do we stick with cartridges? Packaging, the latest things on mineral oils, an update on ETB, mineral oils in the context of food contact, of course. And yeah, you can read those as easily as I can.